Hi Tim, how are you?
Oh, hi Megan, it's so nice
Good to see you. Thank you so much for meeting me tonight.
Oh, thanks for inviting me.
Well, like I said, I need to ask you a few questions for my interviewing class. You're pretty established in the film industry. You've done a lot of really amazing things from what I've seen, and just wanted to ask you a few questions about, how you got to where you are and some of the things that has inspired you along the way and some of the experiences you've had.
Oh, sure.
Before you were showing me some of the pictures that you were just working on for the for your, what was it for?
Oh, an athletics, like emotional video, get the crowd all juiced up for the Cougars run out on the court.
Yeah, those were really cool. The
time
Bridge.
lapses.
Yeah, those are really cool when I watch them on TV. I like those a lot.
Yes.
I wanted to start with asking you how you got interested in filmmaking.
Honestly, when I was 10 years old, I'm the youngest of five, and I have some brothers that loved rocketry, and they would build these 5-foot tall rockets and put a camera inside the capsule, and they would launch them. And I remember one time they didn't get them in a capsule; it was too small, and they asked me to film it.
Okay.
While they were lighting the mat, that kind of thing, and
So do an external view instead of the internal from the inside.
Yeah. So then I started doing like a behind-the-scenes thing of them building the rockets and then them getting their friends together and launching it, and then of course the rocket as it goes across the sky. And next thing you know, at age 10, I was writing scripts about like, what if this rocket landed and on a mountain and dinosaurs ran out of the mountain and started attacking cities. And so I created a film called Zobar versus the Ancient Creatures, where a giant robot battles these dinosaurs.
Was that your first full-length film you ever made?
It was. And then like a year later, I made a film called Gork versus the USA. It's typical plot for a 10, 11-year-old about monsters that attack, and the U.S. military, the airplanes are on strings and they're all trying to fighting the monsters. And
so special effects were limited.
But you know what? That was great fun because I had the whole family and friends involved, and now it's a time capsule. You watch these films and they're basically a family time capsule because you see my father dressed up in military outfits, pointing to the monster and shooting him with his fake gun, and moments like that. But through my teenage years, the films got more complicated, more
right. And you see that like in the
scripts were
time
better.
capsule, that's like a whole other essence of the time capsule. You see how things progress and how you've changed your style and your filmmaking style. So.
I was for the best.
Yeah, well, the more work you do, the better you get.
Back then, it was Super 8 film, which is a really unique format. There's no sound involved. And so you had to create little, cards that you'd print on and shoot it, just like a silent film from the 1920s and 30s. And but yeah, you really cherish those moments. But I got into broadcasting. I wanted to get into television or filmmaking just from the joy of doing that. And my brother he's like 10 years older than me. He went to USC, South Carolina.
Okay.
And in journalism, and so I always idolized him, and so I wanted to do the same thing, but on the television side.
So did you go to USC? Is that where you went?
I did. Got a degree in broadcast journalism.
Okay. Did you get a graduate's degree or anything, or just?
No, I got out, and in fact I was hired full-time at the WIS-TV in Columbia even before I graduated.
Okay.
They wanted to lock me in before I decided to move away, I guess, and so that was a lot of fun.
Exciting.
I was really lucky, really lucky.
That's exciting. Okay, so how is it that you came to be employed by the college?
I moved around a little bit, got out of commercial television, worked for independent producer, and then I worked for myself. I had a partner, and we had our own video company for about 3 years up in Asheville, North Carolina.
Okay.
And then back to Columbia, actually worked on television again. And then actually Hurricane Hugo hit Charleston in 1989.
Yeah.
And my family's from here, so as you know, and so I came down to help them with Hugo. A lot of problems with the house and the land with trees falling.
Oh, I know.
And then I was there here like about a day, and then all the camera gear from Columbia came down, and so I had to go back to work and did some television programs about the hurricane.
Okay.
But basically, I just felt like I needed to be here after that. That was when I realized, I need to be here. It's my home. My family's here. My parents are getting older.
Right.
I just felt like I wanted to be here.
Well, that's pretty natural and pretty expected.
Mm-hmm.
How would you describe your experiences at the college so far?
The best thing about it is the variety of work, and through my 20 odd years here has been from in this studio here doing like coaches TV shows, which is fun.
Yeah, the chef shows.
I'm associated with a guest artist in residence,
Right.
and I direct TV shows for him, and they're on national PBS. Chef Bob Wagner. It's called You Cook
Yeah.
with Chef Bob,
Okay.
and so that's really exciting. It's just you just get to know people and network, and next thing you know, every now and then some freelance opportunities will come that you really enjoy. Either from in my case, like directing regional sports or cooking shows. Or doing tribute films, that kind of thing.
Yeah, you said something about freelance. Didn't you just win an award in Boston, or where was it that you got an award for one of your films?
We here at the Center for the Documentary.
Okay.
We do documentaries that air on South Carolina educational television, and sometimes they'll go into film festivals as well. They often do. And luckily, every now and then we'll win a regional Emmy. Like there's a national Emmy, and all the Hollywood stars go there. Well, there are also regional Emmys. This is like a 7-state region. And we'll win it for like the program itself, or sometimes just an aspect of the program, maybe the videography or the lighting. And so we actually just won one recently for lighting.
Well, that's good.
Mm-hmm.
And I know you do a lot of work with lighting. You show us in class a lot of different techniques. So
it's
really important.
It's really the most interesting part of it after all these years, trying to like paint with light. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
And you could really create mood with lighting. And you work really hard to make it look natural, which is kind of bizarre, but that's the way it works.
And you work really hard, so it must have felt really good to get an award for lighting something you work
Sure.
a lot of time out to do.
That was nice. That was nice. We've won it twice now, like the last 5 years, and we also won it for a couple of our shows, like civil rights documentary we've done, and intercoastal waterway that we've produced, that kind of thing.
Oh, well, that's nice. Do you hire students a lot for your work? I remember you saying stuff about you like to encourage students to work with you and everything.
Oh yeah. It's a great way to get experience, and I could use the help, honestly. But more than anything, it's a way to share what I've learned, and then we'll go out and hopefully make some magic with the camera.
Right.
And do that.
Because even just now when we were sitting at the tripod, you showed me a lot. I mean, I always learn a lot from you, so I'm sure just watching you
Good.
do
We just
film
begun.
stuff.
We just begun.
Well, good. I hope I'll learn more. So you, in your own right, are quite a star in the TV industry. I mean, you've got a lot of, shows on, or you've had a lot of your videos put on America's Funniest Home Videos. You've been on Oprah. I mean, you've even been on Sally Jesse Raphael for some weird coincidence.
Right. That's right.
So how many videos have you had on America's Funniest Home Videos?
I think they've purchased 4 and shown 3. And then the same producer had a show called America's Funniest People, and we had one air on that. We won a contest, and that's how they met us, my wife and I. And we won this contest. We came in second, and won like $3,000 on America's Funniest People. And the producers on America's Funniest Home Video said, "Can you make some for us, and we'll just pay you?" And now those are production videos. They're scripted. Okay. And they have actors. My family and friends are actors again.
Yeah.
And so nowadays they've changed things now. Now it's more like the accident. It's the kick in the groin kind of thing.
Yeah.
And so they don't like what I do. I mean, and so I looked for different venues. And so sent some off to Oprah, sent Sally Jesse, what have you like that.
Yeah.
And luckily got contacted about like, hey, we'd like to show this. And next thing you know, we're in Chicago or something on Oprah.
Yeah, the Oprah one was kind of out of the blue, right? You just didn't
expect that.
Yeah.
We sent it in and said, well, sometimes she shows stuff that the average people send in. And so we did. It's a video called the Psychic Pizza Delivery Network about pizza that just shows up at your door when you're thinking about it, even before you have time to call. Yeah. And so we got a call like 2 months later, and it said, you won a contest. And I was like, great, that's great. I'm telling them, what's the contest? And so it turns out we won a contest about spoofing commercials. Yeah. And so they asked us to come up to Chicago. In fact, they asked us to come up the next day, and it was really bizarre.
Well, that's exciting. Chicago's always fun.
It was for us. Yeah.
Well, yeah, especially if you're going to see Oprah. I mean, geez.
They paid for everything, had a good time in every aspect of it. It was exhausting. So we flew up Monday, taped Tuesday, came back Tuesday night, and it's like a dream. And then like a month later, it airs.
Just a jet setter's life. No
Yeah,
big
well,
deal.
yeah. Hopefully it was just the beginning, but not really. Settled back down.
But I mean, but then again, you also got on Family Feud. You were showing me pictures before, and it just looked like, it was
Right.
natural for
Well,
you.
you
It was-
actually have to pursue these things. And so
Yeah.
I'm the type that does.
Yeah.
And I thought it'd be a lot of fun to make a tribute video for my brother, the same one I idolized when he was in college. He turned 60 recently, and so we did a Family Feud tribute video all about him in Family Feud style, and it turned out so well.
Like questions about
Yeah,
him and stuff.
Yeah, it was so funny that we said, I should send it to the producers of Family Feud. They'll probably get a kick out of it, not knowing anything more than that. Just like see what they say. Maybe they'll show a snippet of it, or put it on the web, or who knows what. Well, it actually got contacted and said, "This is great, thank you. Is this an audition video?" And I said, "No. How would I make one?" And they told me how to make one. And so I sent it in again. Next thing you know, they selected us to go to Orlando and be at Universal Studios. And so
just another, hop
happened
up
real
and
fast.
go. Yeah, that's awesome.
But you got to pursue it. You got to pursue it.
Well, they're
It's
not
not gonna
looking for you, right? I mean, they don't know you exist, so you got to
Right.
put yourself out
It'd be
there.
nice if the phone rang out of the blue completely and says, "We want you on TV," but you got to somehow get the foot in the door.
So, would you say that's probably your biggest piece of advice to people who want to be in your position or get involved in the film industry?
I would watch television or films critically.
Oh, just all the time.
Yes, and analyze what's being done, and then see what really turns you on about it, and then pursue that aspect of it. I love being behind the camera. I'm much better behind the camera than
Right.
anything else, but I do get a kick out of being on camera now and then.
Yeah.
I wish I was an actor. I'm not, or wish I was a really good TV show host, but I'm just not. But I'm much better behind the camera. But I do get a kick out of being in front of it now and then.
Right.
Mhm.
And I mean, like you said, contrast is the key to interest. I mean, so you got to keep it mixed up and.
That's the best thing about the work, especially here in Charleston, in the South, is this the non-union, and you can do it all. You can do anything or all.
Right. And nowadays they want you to do it all.
Yes.
So
yes.
I'm pretty nervous
Yeah.
going out into the work field, not really knowing anything, but I'm learning a lot now this year. So.
Yeah. Well, I know from my class, you'll walk away with a demo tape. You'll have
Okay.
two things that you've produced that you can actually show and say, I did this. And that's
So-
going to be a big advantage for some graduates that don't.
Yeah, I'm really excited. I'm really glad I picked up that class.
Great.
Really glad you offered it. Is there any other advice that you want to add, or anything else that you'd like to throw out there about?
Yeah. Just do something that you enjoy, and then you'll keep gravitating toward doing it.
Right, and you
Yeah.
just gotta
Right.
go out and do it.
Right. You maybe surprise yourself that maybe hard news is something that you enjoy more than anything else.
Right. Just
In
gotta
my
find your
case,
niche.
it's just the features, production work.
Well, thank you so much. Those are all the questions I have for you today. I really appreciate you meeting with me. If I have any further questions about anything, do you mind if I meet with you to ask
Sure.
you?
Sure. Anytime.
All right. Well, have a great day. Thank you
Great.
so much.
Thank you, Megan.
See you later.
Okay.